Okay, feet apart. Let's spread the toes, lift them up, and then drop them down so they're nice and flat. And then lengthen the spine, pull the tummy in, shoulders back and down. So slight nod of the chin, so you've got that lengthening up the back of the neck. Let's roll the shoulders up, back and down. Connect the movement with the breath. So breathe in on the lift, breathe out on the roll. Breathe in on the lift, breathe out on the roll. One more, breathe in and breathe out. Good. Arms are down. Let's move through a gentle side bend. So just working from the waist upwards, reaching away with the bottom arm, continuing to release the shoulders. So you've got lumbar spine releasing there to the side, stretching the obliques and the lats. And just one more. And then come back to center. Draw the belly button in, hands on the shoulders, knees soft for rotation. Breathe in, breathe out and turn the shoulders. Come back to center. So trying to have minimal movement in the hips and pelvis, but do let it go if it's very tight, but lead with the shoulders. Breathing out to turn and in to come back. Two more, breathing out to turn, breathing in to come back, and last one, breathing out to turn, breathing in to come back, and relaxing. Good. Coming down to pelvis. Find the hips front and back, grip the pelvis, soften the knees, and start to move through pelvic tilt. So it might be small at first, might feel better in one direction than the other, but gradually it will start hopefully to release. And it's probably stiff, but it shouldn't be painful. So if it is painful, you probably just pushed it a bit too far in one direction. And then last one. And then settle in neutral. Pull up through the thighs, spread those toes again, look straight ahead. Coming up onto the toes slowly and balancing. And coming down, drop the heels, pick up the toes. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Just one more for now. And then just coming up and holding, arms at shoulder height. Let's go foot pedals. So stretching through the arch of the foot, ball of the foot and the toes. At the same time thinking about the pelvic stability, so hips not moving right or left, keeping them horizontal. Couple more of those here. And relax. Good. Give them a shake and then just rotate full length of the spine there. Good. Standing on one leg, taking the other leg in front, lifting up, flexing and pointing. So tighten up the bum on the standing side. Think about the pelvic stability. Let's come into rotation. So full slow range of movement through wrist and ankle. Good. And then go the other way. So again, joints where we're generally stiff, ankles and wrists. And change. Forward and lift, flex and point. Rotate, looking straight ahead, tightening up this side, pulling the belly button in, circle the other way, brain didn't like that one. And relax, give them a shake, well done. So let's go feet parallel, toes spread, hands behind the back for a hip hinge. So draw your shoulder blades together, maintain the neutral spine, soften down the knees and start to hip hinge. Now this is just led by you. So starting by stretching the glutes and the hamstrings on the way down, and then loading them and contracting them on the way up. Keeping the shoulder blades down and back, head slightly higher than the shoulders at all times. To maintain the neutral spine, you need to keep the abs engaged. So moving through your own safe range. You want it to be effective and feel the hamstrings stretch, but you don't want to overload the back. So let's just have one more and then we're going to change it for a squat. Release your hands. Smaller hip hinge. Sitting back into squat, floating the arms. Pushing through the thighs. Just the squat, please. Breathing in as we sit. Breathing out as we come back up. And again, breathing in as we sit. Breathing out as we come up. Let's add a heel raise to this. So press into the toes, come up and balance. Then come down, sit back into your squat. And come on up. Keep that moving. Just going to change my camera angle a little bit here. Good. Let's have two more. Moving from weight in the ball of the feet to weight in the heels. And this is your last one. Up we go. And back down slowly. And then relax. Give everything a good shake and a rotation there. Good. Bringing your feet back to a narrow parallel position. Tummy in. Fingers to temples. Now squeeze the glutes. They'll support you as you lengthen and side bend. Breathing in to bend. Breathing out to come back up. Slowly. Get that feeling of lengthening, not dropping. So lengthen on this side rather than drop here. Coming up slowly. Drawing the belly button in. Really squeeze the glutes on this one. Nearly a clench. Come on up. Breathing in. And breathing out. So a couple more in your own time. And last one. Good. Relaxing those arms and just giving everything a good shake. Grab your band. So let's have band across the palms. And then either a split stance or tightrope feet. So put some distance between them if that's what you need. Palms up, shoulders down. Take a breath in. Breathe out, pull on the band. Think about the spine staying in neutral, ribs not pulling back. Breathing out on the pull, in on the release. Keeping the belly button drawn in. Keeping the glutes switched on, and then just making sure your weight is even through both feet. Two more. And last one. And relax. Change feet so they can be toe to heel or hip width. Wide overhand grip. Up and over we go, drawing the scapulas together around the back, making sure the spine isn't coming into extension. So it's shoulder extension, but not spine extension. So keep the back of the neck long. Avoid the chin poking forwards. Couple more. Next one is our last one. And then relax. Give everything a shake. Get rid of your band. So we're going to come onto the hog, and everything we're going to do on the hog now, you can do standing on the floor. So don't feel you have to come onto the hog. So let's come onto the smooth side of the hog. Step up. So it rocks forward and back, and just take your feet wide. And then just give it a bit of a rock. And then on the floor or the hog, just give me some gentle foot pedals. So just continuing to stretch the feet, stabilize the pelvis, mobilize the lower half of the body. And then keeping the hog still. Thumbs in the breastbone for rotation. Tuck the tail under, knees soft, tummy in. Breathe in. Breathe out, rotate to the right corner. Coming center. If you're on the hog, you're trying to keep it as still as possible. So horizontal to the floor. There'll be movement in it. We're trying to minimize it. And if your hips feel like they need to join you on the rotation, let them go. But lead from the shoulders. Got 2 more of these. And then pushing the arms forward. Hand to hip. Bow and arrow. Bigger rotation, looking behind you. Pulling the hand to the hip, not letting the shoulder come up as you pull. So shoulders are still down. Neck is relaxed. Last 2. And last one. Good. Dropping the arms. Coming into squat. Hold. And then pulse or rock. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up and go again. Sit back, squat, hold, rock or pulse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just 2 more. Sitting back and rocking. And last one. Standing tall, can you bring your heels together and turn your feet out? Squeeze the glutes, stand in balance. Slide the toe, lift 2 arms and 1 knee. Come on down and change to the other leg. Hold on to something if you need to. And work on or off your hog there. And then just depending on how that's feeling, lift the knee, open the arm and the hip, close back up, and step down. Good, so hip opener, stretching into the groin and the inner thigh. It doesn't have to be a big range of movement, but just try to gently move it out to the side if it will go. With or without wall support, with or without the hug. Got 2 to go. And last one. And come on down, good. So step back on one foot, hamstring stretch. So we want the front leg straight. We want to bend the back knee and support our body weight by pushing our hands on our thighs. And then come on down and lift your bum, just rock the hug. Good, keep lengthened through the spine, head is up. And then uncurl. Change legs. Hinge, support the body weight. Hold. Rock the hug, lengthen the spine. Straighten the working leg. And uncurl. And give your legs a shake. Grab your weights for me, please. So let's start by challenging the balance. Feet apart, weight on the right leg. Just rest the toe on the floor for now. Pull the tummy in. Start to slowly bicep curl. And so you can leave that left toe on the floor or you can pick it up. So let's try to challenge the balance a bit more by going one up, one down. So we're throwing ourselves off center, so that we're not symmetrical on either side. If that makes you too wobbly, then do doubles. That's a bit more even. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step down. Give your legs a shake. Weights in front. Let's row up the body, singles or doubles. So in this case, doubles, a bit harder. Shoulders back, chest lifted. End to end if you can. 4 to go. Keep that moving. Just going to open my window. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shift the weight. Balance on the toe. Back to the double curl. As and when you're ready, pick up the foot. And this time, to challenge the balance, we'll curl and shoulder press. So moving in 2 directions, again to challenge the balance a bit more. If you'd rather just stay with the bicep curl, that's okay. Breathing steadily. Really pull up on your working leg, the leg you're standing on. Pull up the quad. Squeeze the glute. Spread the toes. 3 more. 3. 2. Last one. Step down, give them a shake. And so coming into shoulders, I want you to turn your weights around now so your palms are forward. I want you to lift slowly to the side with a relaxed elbow and come down. Tuck your tail under, soften your knees and lift. So thumb on top. Doesn't have to come to shoulder height. It's going to depend how your shoulders feel. Good. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Turn them round. So on the thighs, coming into the shoulders, just the shoulder girdle. Open and round. Bring in the head and neck if you can. So head, neck and shoulders, little bit of upper spine. So if all of that's feeling okay, add a little bit of a roll. So I'm just going to come down to just above my knee. If that's not right for you, then don't do it. Just stay with shoulders. Breathing in and out. Option to add a roll. Going a little bit lower with that roll if it feels right for you. Breathing in. Breathing out, rolling up. So you can do just shoulders, or you can do shoulders and spine. One more time. And relax, super. Get rid of your weights. Okay, so we're going to come into roll down next. If you don't want to do full roll down, you can do half roll down, or you can take yourself to the floor and do cat stretch. So I'm going to pop my mat down, and our back should already be loose after that last sequence. So rolling down or coming down for cat stretch. I'm going to take my arms up and breathe in. Arms coming down, breathe out. I'm going to nod my chin, round my shoulders, and I'm going to roll till my hands are ankle height. Hold it there and just sway the arms. Breathing in, breathing out, rolling up slowly. Taking the arms up, breathing in. Breathing out, coming down. Nod round and roll. Coming all the way down, putting my hands on the floor. Walking forwards into downward dog. Pressing back in the dog, maybe pedaling the feet. And then coming forward, holding a plank on your toes or knees. And then a couple of press-ups, if you can. So we're going to keep moving through these positions. So if your back doesn't want to do downward dog, plank or press-up, then you can come to the floor, you can cat stretch, you might even just want a pelvic tilt. You can go to shell stretch or child's pose if needed. If you're working with me through this sequence, got 2 more sets. So I'm doing my roll down into my downward dog, my plank, and my press up. You might want to do press up on the floor in between your cat stretches, up to you. Do what feels correct for you. I'm just going to grab my stuff. So if you're still rolling through that sequence, this is going to be your last one. So next time you come up, set yourself up on the floor and bring all your equipment down. So when you're ready, you can come down and just sit back into shell stretch, head on hands, and take some breaths. Hands coming to side of knees. Support the body weight. Uncurl. Coming forward onto all fours. Get the weight even. Coming into Superman. Options. Right arm forward, left leg back. Extend and lift. Come down smoothly. Change sides. Harder option, reaching to diagonal corners and lifting. Easier option, leaving the toe or the hand on the floor when you slide. So do what feels correct for you there. And if you want to progress that, then you can go to 4 on one side and 4 on the other side. So keeping that moving. So just loading your abs in a way that is correct for you. Good. Keeping that moving slowly. So we are going to finish with a set of 4 on the left arm, please. So you might have 1 or 2 more sets to go. Once you finish, shell stretch or cat stretch. Release the wrists, release the back. Good. So coming to seated next. When you're ready, uncurl your spine. Come down to the seated position. And then let's come to a slump stretch. So just take the feet wide first and come forward. Let that lower back release quite low down if we can. And then coming up, you're going to want a ball or a cushion behind you. So it needs to be close if there's a back issue, otherwise it can be further away. So dig the heels in there, lengthen up and find your bum bones. So the first thing you want to do is hold your legs and just start to release the spine. Then we'll start to add a little bit of load into the abdominals if we can. So if all feels well, we'll let go of the legs. Breathing out on the way up, maybe stretching the arms above the head if that feels correct. And then adding bow and arrow if that feels good. So slower is better. Make sure you are releasing the pelvis and then restacking and stretching. And so option to add a dumbbell into this if you wish. Option to take your rotations, maximum of 4. Going to have a couple more sets if we can. If you've had enough, just sit back and give your back a good stretch there. And then when you have finished your last set, come back to slump stretch once again for me. And just relax there. Curling, and then lying down on your back with some head support if you need it, please. Weights either side of you. So I'm going to go with a head block. And so hug your knees in if you can and draw a circle. If that's too much, feet on the floor and hip roll. So I'm going to draw a circle 3 or 4 times in one direction. And then go the other way and circle slowly. And then place your feet together on the floor with your knees bent. Arms coming out to the side, palms are up. Dropping the knees to the right, turning the head to the left, breathing in as you drop and out as you come back up. So a big range of movement if your back is pain-free. Reduce that range of movement if it's not great. But make a mental note of how it feels as you move from right to left. Finishing with one to the left. And then coming back to center. Take your feet hip distance apart. So coming into lower abdominals, either a single knee lift from the floor or legs up, a single toe tap to the floor, a single leg stretch away if you can, and a lift of the head and shoulders if that feels okay. Option to support the weight of the head and neck. Option to add rotation. So keep it slow. Think about what you're trying to achieve. So lower abdominals first. Hopefully we can feel some resistance in the lower abs. Keep your core engaged. And then if you want to add upper body, then you can do. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming in and coming down to the floor. Full body stretch if you can. Adapt it if it's not comfortable. Should feel really nice and relaxed. Breathing into the diaphragm. Bringing your arms over. Drawing your legs in, please. Let's go chest flies next. So you can do this with your feet on or off the floor. You can do it with your dumbbells or your band. So I'm going to use my weights. They're coming in and up. Option to start with your feet on or off the floor. Focus on your arm pattern. Wide chest fly, breathing in. So we want it to be wide. We want the elbows not to change shape, just to stay soft. Movement coming through the shoulder. Option to add a leg to that if you wish. On or off the floor. Leg stretch, knee lift or toe tap. Good. So I want the backs of your arms to touch the floor, but not the elbow joint. So the minute the elbow joint hits the floor, then you're going to lose the resistance in the muscles. It's going to drop into the floor itself. So backs of the arms touching the floor, so we're wide, but not the elbow joint. So the weight stays in the arms. If you're good with a double leg stretch, then you can go to double. If you are doing double, please protect your back. We've got 3 more. Slowly do this. When you have finished your last one, coming in and down, getting rid of the weights. So my knees are bent and my feet are the full width of the mat if possible for a hip roll here. If that's not comfortable, put something between your knees. Arms are out, rocking right and left. Internal and external rotation of the hip there. So letting the legs move freely, but if there's back pain, put them together and they move as one unit. Good. Finishing with knees to the left. Brilliant. Okay, let's put something between the knees or the feet for corkscrew now. So we want to load the abdominals with the weight of the legs, but if you're happy with your feet on the floor, stay on the floor. So I'm going to use my hog or my ball between your knees or your feet. So hands are on the rib cage, shoulders are pinned into the floor, dropping 45 degrees. Your legs are moving as one unit here. So this is not about the legs at all. This is about the waist, little bit of lower back. So if you want to get that waist working, you can also take your arms up. Knees one way, arms the other way. Making sure we have control of this so there's no momentum. Two to go. Relax, get rid of whatever you're using there. Let's have a starfish stretch. So out we go, 4 corners. Now open your palms and stretch your fingers. Push your heels away and pull your toes back and just feel all that fascia in your body stretching from one end to the other. Take some breaths. And then bringing the arms and legs back in, and we're coming onto the side of our body. So rolling onto the side of your body, popping your hog under your head. Body in a straight line to start. So options. Hardest option is your double leg raise. But if that's not for you, you might want to bend your bottom leg and just lift your top arm and leg. Just see how it feels. You can do it with a bent leg if needed. If you can lift your head and neck, then we load the waist a little bit more. So if everything's lifting, working a bit more on strength through the waist and the core. But if you're doing arm and leg, then you're still getting some good mobility and some loading through the hips and through the core. Breathing out to lift and into lower. 2 more. Holding the last one up. Balancing, and you can do a small movement forward and back. That might just be with your top leg, might be both. You can make it bigger if everything's okay, and you can bring your hand down for stability if you need it. So we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet coming together and and down. Draw your knees in. If it feels okay, hug or drop the top leg and just relax them. Good. Coming into clam next. So feet together, knees bent. Stack the hips, pull the tummy in and have your palms together. If you can lift your toes up, start with toes up, otherwise toes on the floor. Rotating into clam on an out breath. Option to do that with your feet down with a smaller range, keeping the feet together. So what I want you to think about here, two things are happening. We are mobilizing through the hip, but we're also adding strength into this glute medius. So it doesn't have to be big, but make it as big as you comfortably can. You're getting good challenge on the stability through the pelvis, the core and the lower back. So your spine should be completely still on this exercise. 2 more. And last one. Come down. And then again you can hug or drop, or you might want to stretch that leg out in front of you. Get a bit more into the hamstring if it'll go. So leg coming behind you now, and then holding the ankle if you can. If not, just take the leg behind. Lengthen out the lower leg. Hold it there. And release. Good. Ball or cushion between the knees. Squeeze. Stack the hips. So now we want to fix the lower half of the body. Lower half of the body completely still. Palms together. Coming into open door. Floating the arm. So keep squeezing the knees. Now we want the neck to move. The shoulders. The upper back. The mid back. So go as far as you can without it feeling too uncomfortable. Hold and breathe in. Close up on your out breath. And go again. So each time you do this, the back should give a little bit more. But we're only using gravity, we're not using force. Breathing in, holding. Breathing out, closing. Give me a couple more of those in your own time, please. Once you've done this last one, we're going to set ourselves up on the other side. So you can roll over or you can go down the other end of your mat. So starting with a straight leg lift, and that can be the top leg or top and bottom. So when you're ready, taking a breath in, breathing out and lifting. And it can be 2 legs, 1 leg. You can include the arm, you can include the head and neck, but make sure there is no rotation happening on this one. So the focus is forward. We're drawing the belly button in. We are loading the side of the waist. Can you hold your next one up and then big or small scissor one or both legs. Make sure your top leg is hip height, otherwise you're going to load the hip too much. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everything coming down. Drawing the knees in. Dropping the top leg over the bottom leg or putting something under it, holding it, giving it a rub. Coming into clam next. Put the feet and knees together. Have them feet hip level, stack the hips, toes are up if possible. Taking a breath in as you breathe out, lifting that top knee, rotating into clam. So a bigger rotation will challenge the flexibility more, but just lifting it a small amount will still add strength. So most important thing here is to keep the spine still as the leg and the hip move against it. If your toes are up, keep checking that they're not migrating and dropping towards the floor. Last one. And come down. Top leg over bottom leg. Stretch it out a bit more if you can. And then heel going to bottom. Straight spine, thighs parallel. And releasing, popping something between your knees and squeeze. Stack the hips, this time lower half of the body still, upper body rotating against it. When you're ready, opening out, eyes following hand, squeezing the ball, keep the hips fixed. Breathing in, breathing out, squeezing the ball to close up. So continuing with that at your own pace, but staying out there for at least one in-breath. So gravity should just increase your range of movement a little bit each time. So I can feel my lower back is stiffer on this side. Obviously need to do some more Pilates. Just gonna do one more here. So I'm coming onto my back now. I'm just going to have a release and then we're going to do triceps. So make sure your weights are nearby. Maybe get something smaller than the hog under your head. And then just where you are, either give me some pelvic tilts or some knee hugs or a hip roll. But we want to get some movement back into that lower back. It's been fixed. Now we want it to move. So when you're ready, you can pick up your weights and set yourself up for tricep. And you can start with your feet on or off the floor. So bringing in the abs as well if we're lifting the legs. Press your shoulders into the mat and start with your single tricep press. So that means fixing the shoulders and stabilizing them. and only moving from the elbow joint. When the elbow bends, it's pointing to the ceiling, it's not winging out to the side. So if you feel confident to add a knee lift or a toe tap or a single leg stretch to this, make sure it's opposite arm to leg. And then think about your spine not moving. Every part of the spine is on the floor. We are drawing down on the abdominals, make sure they're not doming. If you feel strong enough to do double triceps, then you can do double triceps, but not double legs, so just maximum of single legs or no legs, but double triceps. If everything's okay through the shoulders and the elbow, breathing in as we drop, breathing out as we push. Checking those elbows are not winging, so squeeze them towards each other. Good. 2 to go. Everything coming in and down. Get rid of your weights and then just stretch any way you like. I'm going to go for a knee hug and a circle. You just do whatever feels good there. And we're going to finish with a stretch of our legs. So when you're ready, grabbing your band, coming around the right foot, pulling the elbows down, sliding out the bottom leg if that feels okay, keep it bent if not, but trying to get that right leg reasonably straight and pulling the whole thing in. Now push your heel up and pull your toes back if you can, and push your bottom into the floor if you can. So it might feel good to stay on that hamstring a bit longer and just hold, or it might feel good to sway the leg or circle the leg. So do what feels right for you. It can be quite a small movement, just working on mobility, or it can be bigger and stretching the hip. It might go into one hand. So do what feels right for you for these last few stretches. Really just depends on what's going on through your hip and your back. So mine always feels like it wants quite a big movement, but for some of you, it'd be much better with smaller movement, or even finding your tight spot and staying on it and just holding. Coming back to center and changing feet inside that band. Supporting the leg on the band, pulling in, and then option to slide the bottom leg away, option to push the heel up and pull the toes back, and then press the tailbone down. Get rid of any tension in the shoulders and neck. Draw the leg a little bit closer if you can. From there, just start with a small sway or small circle. And then if that feels okay, make it bigger. Perhaps go into one hand, or perhaps just find your tight bit and stay on it for a bit longer. So sometimes the muscles, they can take up to 2 minutes to release. So sometimes we're better holding, others we're better moving. Whichever one you're doing, spine is still, and we're breathing slowly. And then we're relaxing, slipping the foot out of the band, coming over onto all fours, please. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's just roll through cat stretch. So again, holding or moving. Might feel good just to hold the flexion. Might feel good to continuously move slowly. Coming into downward dog if you can. If you'd rather come up a different way, that's fine. Little pedal of the feet. And then starting to walk the hands in. Make sure you support yourself as you roll back up to the top. Slowly, please. Stretching up, breathing in. Breathing out, coming across. And breathing. And out. Breathe in and breathe out. Arms coming down, shoulder roll. And then rotate the whole body. And we are done. Thank you very much. Come on in, please.